This is a ginger root. You can find it in the produce. You can find it in the produce section of your grocery. I don't even know what accent that was. But you're gonna take your garlic clove. No! It is time to get cooking. I'm Jacqui Saldaña, and I've been creating simple and delicious recipes on my website for more than 10 years with my family. And now I'm inviting you into my kitchen to come cook along with me while I show you how to easily create weeknight dinners, decadent desserts, and everything tasty in between. I keep it real, and most importantly, I keep it simple. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly videos. And now, let's see what we're making today. Hello everyone, today we're making steak and veggie kebabs with a really yummy, simple marinade that you can actually use for any type of veggie or protein that you want. It is rich with soy sauce and sesame oil, and it's got a punch of fresh ginger. It's absolutely delicious. We're gonna serve it over a bed of quinoa, and we're making a cocktail tonight. So let's get into it. To start us off here, I've got 2 top sirloin steaks here that I'm going to cube up into nice bite-sized pieces. And you really want to focus on making sure that all your pieces are the same size, so that way when they're on the grill, they cook all at the same time. If you end up with pieces that are smaller than each other, then you run the risk of having the smaller ones burn before the larger pieces end up finished cooking. As we cut our meat here, I'm going to plop it in our bowl. This recipe actually is very simple, and what makes it special is the marinade, because it incorporates yummy soy sauce and sesame oil and fresh ginger. And we actually started making these steak kebabs as like a little faux at-home date night. Our girls go to bed at 7 o'clock, and sometimes we'll wait to have dinner with just the 2 of us, me and my husband. And, oops, that's a little big. And because, you know, we don't eat too much red meat, having steak kebabs always seems like a little bit more of a special dinner. But in reality, it's very simple and it comes together very fast, and who doesn't love kebabs? The best thing about this is you can use this marinade to marinate fish, chicken, shrimp. You can do just all veggies if you wanted to. This marinade is absolutely delicious and goes great with pretty much anything. So we've got our meat in here. I've got another cutting board here, and now I'm gonna cut all my veggies. So again, just like how you can use any type of protein, you can use chicken, shrimp, fish, you can use whatever veggies you have on hand. Our favorites are always bell peppers and of course onion, but you can do yellow bell pepper, you can do whatever veggie you want. You could do zucchini, would be really great. So I'm gonna cut these up kind of in the same shape, square shape as the steaks. Again, because you want everything to cook at the same time. So we've got our bell pepper here, and if you just kind of cube them up like this, it's perfect. And I'm just gonna add the veggies right in with our meat here, because they're all gonna marinate at the same time. Whenever you're cutting onion, we're not gonna use this whole big onion, but we also don't wanna waste it either. So I'm gonna cut it in half. And what you want to remember is if you're gonna use the other half of onion later on, you wanna cut it in half so you have the root on one end and you have this part at the other. So you're gonna cut it in half, and you're gonna save this one with the root. I think I've told you this before, I love the smell of onions. It just brings me right back to my grandmother. My grandma doesn't smell like onions, her kitchen smells like onions. Okay. You can use white onion, red onion is really great, but all I have on hand is a yellow onion, so you can use whatever onion you like. We've got some soy sauce, some balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and a little bit of sesame oil. And what I've done, this is gonna make about 2 to 3 cups of marinade. And what I like to do is use half of it to marinate the meat and the veggies, And then I reserve the other half to drizzle on top once the dish is all complete, and that's just so tasty. So we've got our soy sauce, balsamic vinegar is gonna make it nice and tart, and the soy sauce is gonna make it yummy and salty. The sesame oil is my not so secret ingredient, and what that's gonna do is just give it a nice nutty flavor. This marinade is really savory and salty, and then we're gonna punch it up with some fresh ginger. And you can do some salt and pepper to taste. I wouldn't add too much salt just because the soy sauce has a lot of salt in it. All right. Oh, you can smell that sesame oil. For this marinade, I like to use 4 pretty decent sized garlic cloves. Yeah, let's do 5. You can do however much garlic you like. I know that some people don't care for garlic, so you could probably get away with doing none or just 1, but we are garlic lovers in this house. Even my daughter Mila, she's 5, she absolutely loves garlic fries, garlic on everything. Garlic and potatoes is one of my favorite things. But okay, so we're gonna do fresh garlic. This is a silicone garlic peeler. It's very simple to use. You put your garlic in here, in the center, and you press down and you give it a gentle roll. And what happens is the garlic comes out completely peeled. So this kitchen gadget is a must, especially if you love garlic and you peel a lot of garlic like we do. Let me just show you again. Whoa. Okay, so you have your garlic, right? It has the skin on it, and you put it in the center here, and you give it a nice little gentle roll, and then it pops out with no skin, and it's ready to use. I just think that's mind-blowing. I absolutely love it. And I'll just tell you, you can use a knife and like smash it and then peel it, or you can try to peel it like this, but the reason why I like to peel it first and keep the garlic cloves whole is because when you're making a marinade or salad dressing or any kind of sauce using fresh garlic, the key is to use a microplane because you can finely grate it in and it kind of just absorbs itself into the sauces. So that's why I like to peel my garlic and leave them whole, because it makes it easy to grate in here. So I'll move the whisk so you can see. So this is a microplane. It's a very fine grater. Gently grate it over the marinade. And you're probably like, Jacqui, nothing's happening. There's no garlic going into your marinade. Well, it's all right here. So you're gonna wanna keep grating and grating and grating. And because we're doing, a couple garlic cloves here, I'm just gonna continue grating in this spot, and it'll eventually fall, and then whatever doesn't fall, we'll just gently remove it from the back of the microplane. So I like to do this instead of finely mincing your garlic because, there it goes. Because it just perfumes your sauces, your marinades, your salad dressings a lot more. If you in your kitchen don't have a microplane, you should definitely get one. It's awesome. You can also do Parmesan cheese, and you can finely grate Parmesan cheese over salads and pasta. What else can I use a microplane for? I usually just use it for zesting garlic, and I also use it for zesting ginger, which I'll do in just a second. So here we have a lot of our garlic built up. So what we're gonna do is just kind of run our finger on the back here and place it right in. Let's talk ginger. This is a ginger root. You can find it in the produce section at your grocery market. It's delicious, and you can absolutely use ground ginger if you have that in the spice cabinet, but I like using fresh ginger because it gives it a nice punch of flavor, and anytime I get the chance to use fresh ginger, I do it. I always have a piece of ginger root hanging around the kitchen, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna microplane it just like we did the garlic, but you need to peel it first. The easiest way you can peel ginger is with the back of a spoon like this, and you're just going to very gently scrape the skin off your ginger. I've got about 1/2 inch of ginger here that I've used my spoon to peel off all of the skin. And now we're just gonna grate it just like we did the garlic. Ginger just adds such a yummy layer of warmth and punch. It's got a little bit of spice, but not like spicy, I guess you would say. We've grated our ginger, and any leftover ginger we have. We'll just use our finger on the inside. And we're gonna give this a nice whisk. Yum. This would even be good as just like a light salad dressing. And like I mentioned before, we're gonna do half of the marinade here, and we're gonna keep some of the, you can do half of the marinade or like 3/4 of the marinade, but you wanna leave a little bit of the marinade left over so you can drizzle it on top of your kebabs once they're cooked. And if you're doing it on a bed of rice, or today, we're gonna serve it over some quinoa, the leftover marinade will act as like a yummy sauce you can drizzle over. We're gonna pour it all over the meat and the veggies here. So we've got a little bit left of the marinade, which is perfect. So we're gonna stir the marinade and everything together to make sure that the steak and the peppers and everything gets coated evenly. And of course, with any marinade, the longer you marinate, the better it is. So typically when I know we're gonna be making anything with a marinade, I usually toss it all together in the morning time. Like I'm having my coffee, I'm getting the girls ready for whatever we've got going on that day, and I'll put together the marinade and let it sit in the fridge. Okay, so we're gonna let this hang out. I'm gonna get started on my quinoa, and I'm gonna show you a really yummy cocktail that I think you're gonna love. Actually, I know you're gonna love. Garlic in here. All right, so we are going to make a little cocktail, one for me, one for Dan, and it's like a play on a gin fizz, only a classic gin fizz has like raw egg white and you have to shake it, and it's made with lemon juice, so it's kind of like that, but my own take on it. And we're adding pomegranate juice and ginger beer to give it more of a flavor that I would enjoy, and I hope that you guys like it too. Before we start skewering our kebabs, I'm gonna get my grill pan all set and ready on the stove and start warming it up. And this is just your standard grill pan, and then on the other side we have like a flat griddle, so sometimes we do pancakes and bacon and eggs on this. We do like hot dogs, sausages, and kebabs and steaks and burgers on the grill side. So this is a really awesome pan. It's cast iron and it's awesome. And I'll leave the link in the description below. If you don't have a center burner like this, you could just put it on top of 2 burners like here. But we got our center burner. And I'm gonna put it on medium. And I've got some veggie oil here that I'm just gonna drizzle up and down the pan here. And this is just gonna help the kebabs not stick so much. And I've got my brush here that I'm just gonna brush the oil so it's evenly coating the grill pan. And while this pan warms up, we're gonna skewer our kebabs. All right, so we are ready to assemble our steak and veggie kebabs. What I have here are my kebab sticks, and it's very important that you let them hang out for about 10 to 15 minutes or so in some water. So then that way the stick absorbs the water, and then once you put them on the grill, that ensures that they don't burn and catch on fire while you're trying to cook your kebabs. So we've got our kebab sticks soaking in water, and now it's time to assemble our kebabs. Now we're just going to gently skewer, and you just want to alternate peppers, onions, meat, and just make sure each one has, you know, an equal amount of peppers and onions. And while we're skewering these kebabs here, I've got my grill pan heating up. So once these are ready to go, we can put them directly onto our grill pan. All right, our grill pan is nice and hot. So we are going to add our kebabs. Let's call it the redhead. It's bomb.
The pomegranate on top.
Yeah, right? It adds like a texture, pop of pomegranate when you get one.
That's good.
That's what we're calling it, the redhead. You 10 have none. Ooh, these are looking good, nice and caramelized and toasty. We're gonna give them a nice flip now and cook them on the other side. And the veggies are softening up and getting delicious. So what I'm gonna do now is just kind of choose one here. Let's see, I'm gonna choose this guy. I'm gonna slip off some meat. It's looking perfect. It's a little pink on the inside. Let me take a bite here. It looks good. These are looking absolutely perfect. Like I said, they have a nice char on them and they've softened up quite a bit, but they still have a nice crunch to them, which I really enjoy. We're gonna take them off the grill pan here. And I've got some garlicky quinoa that we're gonna put these onto. All right, so we have our fluffy quinoa here, and I grated fresh garlic into it, some salt and pepper. You can also do rice, or maybe you could even do pasta if you wanted, some orzo. I like to add a little bit of sesame seeds right on top. All right, moment of truth here. I'm gonna get a bite of the quinoa, and I'm first gonna taste this meat. It is absolutely delicious. You can taste the ginger coming through. It's nice and warm. You've got the sesame, which adds a nice nutty flavor. The soy sauce and the balsamic vinegar gives it a nice flavor, nice and savory. It's absolutely delicious. I absolutely love it. All right, everyone, I hope you tried this recipe. You can find this recipe and more on my website, babyboybakery.com, and I will see you next week.
It's seriously so good.